Night of the Immortals. What a show. I mean, when we've been building up this show, we've been trying to say how this is the biggest show in the year, in IWF's calendar year, and how it's ultimately the culmination of events and also a new beginning. We talk about delivering it. The show really did deliver. Now, before I get into things, I just want to apologize. I'm not feeling very well. I've really been suffering over the last few days, so I apologize if the video isn't too great, and that happens a lot. But I promised I would get one out for you guys, so let's fucking march on. The show itself opened up with the cell match between Rowan and Charity. The match kicked off and Charity wanted absolutely nothing to do with Rowan, and who can blame her? I mean, Rowan is a beast of a woman, and I wouldn't want to get in the ring with her. I don't know about any of you guys, but I wouldn't stand a goddamn chance. as most people would expect, Rowan dominated the match quite early on, and it was going to go that way. I mean, Rowan has wanted Charity ever since the Diamond in the Rough ended, and she finally got her hands on her. It was always going to happen, but Charity fought back. She gave Rowan everything she had. She hit her with everything she could, but she just wouldn't stay down. One of my favourite things from the match, which is just because I'm a sick son of a bitch, was just the bit where Rowan had Charity's head against the cell wall and was just fucking using the wall like a cheese grater, and blood was pouring down from Charity's face. Obviously, I say obviously, I mean no disrespect to Charity, of course. I know that my words have rubbed a certain few people the wrong way over the last week or so, so I guess I better start choosing my words the right way, or I'll probably end up a cheese grater myself. But Rowan picked up the victory, and I think a lot of people would say that it was probably always going to end up that way, because Charity has wanted nothing to do with Rowan ever since this kicked off, and I just felt like it was always going to go that way. But it was a good start to the show, and Rowan picked up the victory and kicked off Night of the Immortals in a great way. After that, we had some pretty good segments from both Rob Diamond and Steve Awesome to hype up their grudge match. Rob really kind of let us in to the real reasons why he hates Steve Awesome so much. He showed, like, a lot of people have always been like, oh, well, why do you hate Steve? Why don't you hate Spike so much? I mean, Spike cut your finger off, blah, 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 blah. And Rob even addressed that in this little build-up, whereas Steve was just kind of Steve, deuces. I'm so sorry, but there's not much I can do about it. But the match kicked off, and it was everything you could ask for. They wrestled each other so well. They reversed everything. They know each other so well. I don't think there's two people on the roster that could wrestle each other that would know each other anywhere near as well as these two do. They've been friends for so long. They've wrestled with each other, against each other, trained with each other, rode the road together. It was so great. I mean, then we get into the match. I mean, there was that one bit where Rob reversed the swinging neckbreaker into a fucking German suplex through the announce table. It was insane. But then the two of them just would not stay down, whether it was from a fucking 50-star frog splash, a Steve KO, moves on to the steel steps, into the barrier. Nothing would keep the man down. They wailed into each other. They even headbutted each other, and they both fell down, but nothing would keep them down. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Steve started crying in the middle of the match, and then he did it. He admitted that Rob was right, that he did try and bury him. Well, not try, he did bury him. And Rob wanted none of. Rob was just wailing like, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. Then Rob started crying, and And I wasn't crying, you were crying. Don't look at me, I'm a grown-ass man. You were crying, not me. Vasco was crying. And then Rob tried to pin him, and Steve was like, "What the fuck, bro?" I was like, "We're still in a match, yeah, it's still a match." And then Steve tried to hit Rob with, I forgot what move. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling right now. But Rob reversed it, hit the diamond cutter and pinned, but then the two of them fucking hugged it out, and we're left with that little glimmer of hope that perhaps they might still be friends after it all. Which, if you'd asked me a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, or 6 months ago, never would have thought that could happen. Not with the way these two were going at each other, not the hatred that they had for each other. But there's that little bit of glimmer of hope. So you never know, it could be there. Next up on the card was the Joker in the Pack, and I know Ryan Shane had some choice words for me this week, and I don't really want to cut into Mr. Shane, but I meant no disrespect when I said that the people in this match weren't in the main event, because whether you accept it or not, it's fucking true. The people in the main event are the people who hold the Imperial Championship, or who have held the Imperial Championship. Nobody in this match has. In no way, shape or form did I say that no one in this match has the skill or the caliber to do that. I was saying that this is the chance for you guys to step up and do that, and fucking boy did you deliver, just like I said you could, just like I gave you the fucking call to arms to do so. And what a match. I mean, the Lost Boys did exactly what they expected them to do. They teamed up, they cleared the ring. Devlin actually hit the fucking cannonball. Derek Brooks cleared the ring, and then like everyone probably saw it coming, the Lost Boys started to argue over who was going to have the case. Ryan Shane and Will Fennell started fucking going at each other. Two people that probably a lot of people would have been their picks. Like a lot of people I know picked Ryan Shane to be the winner. A lot of people I know picked Will Fennell to be their winner. And then Ryan Shane was so close to getting the briefcase. He had his fingers on it, but then the ladder fell. But instead of just dropping like a fucking anvil, he took the chance to leap out to the outside, landing on Devlin and Dean Coulter. That took some innovation, that took some skill. And then you have like the innovation from people like Will Fennell, who isn't the jumpy flippy type like his brother, who did something that you don't normally see in these type of matches. He set a ladder up on the outside and jumped into the ring, taking absolutely everyone out. But the culmination came when it was Will and Devlin battling on the ladder for the briefcase, and Devlin sent Will down, and with the impact, with the force that he went down, he hit the ropes, bounced back and knocked the ladder off, but Devlin managed to just cling on to the briefcase and unhook it, falling down to the ring and becoming the 2017 Joker in the Pack. I tip my hat, guys, because that was an outstanding match. Great work by everyone involved. An absolutely amazing match. Well done. And that wasn't me trying to be condescending, so please don't take it that way. Guess what happened next, boys and girls? Drake fucking Coulter's back! Woo! Oh my god. I didn't see that coming. Did anybody see that coming? I didn't see that coming. Drake Coulter came back, the crowd lost their shit, and guess what? He's putting his name down for the heir to the throne. Oh man, that's going to be so awesome. That is going to be so fucking awesome. Drake Coulter was one of my favourite guys from the last year. He really shot to fame. He came from nowhere and was like, boom, I'm in the main event now. See what I mean about somebody coming from nowhere and then all of a sudden being main event? That's what I mean. After that, we had the Invictus Championship match between Bob Pooler and Jason Matthews. Just like us, the crowd was so split between Bob and Jason. They were cheering for both guys. It was one of those matches that just kind of hits you and you're like, oh, I want Jason to win, but I also want Bob to win. Oh, what do I do? And And Bob went in early. He was trying to do what the veteran does, trying to end the match as quick as you can. Jason, to his credit, really showed that he's come so far. His ring awareness, his strategy shows that he's learned so much from Nighthawk and by training at the Wrestle Factory. Not that that's gonna happen much anymore, but the action spilled to the outside with a pretty nasty looking hip toss onto the steel stairs to Jason Matthews, and then there was just so many near falls. You were like, oh, this is it, he's got it, no, this is good, but it didn't happen. Then when Bob hits Jason with the Dr. Teeth, you're like, oh, it's over, Bob wins, well done Bob, woo. But then no, Jason fucking kicks out, and you're just like, and then in the one bit of bitterness, the match ends in a draw. And I know the crowd at the Horseshoe booed. They weren't happy with the match being a draw, but in my opinion, it's just a testament to the ability of both guys, that they went to the time limit, that it lasted so long, and neither one could put the other one down. It shows the resiliency. It shows how far Jason Matthews has come, that he can last so long against such a superstar like Bob Paula. I mean, Bob has been in the game for quite some time. He's gone up against some of the biggest names in the business. So for Jason to really stand that testament and not get crushed, to show that he's developed so much from this time last year, it was a testament to both guys. And it was a really good match, so fucking well done, guys. After that, we saw another segment hyping up the return of Xavier Cross. Now, I don't know if a lot of people remember Xavier Cross, but he was kind of a big deal back in the early IWF. So the fact that he's coming back has me pretty excited. I don't know what to expect. I really don't know what to expect with Xavier Cross coming back. But with Dre Cutler putting his name in the air to the throne, I have to wonder, is Xavier Cross going to put his name down too? The possibilities are endless. After that came arguably the most brutal match on the card. And last week I said that I didn't feel qualified to hype up this match, to talk too much about this match. But Jesus fucking Christ, what a match. It started, I mean, the spectacle started with the Angels entrance. I mean, one an entrance by such a guy. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame for a reason, do you know what I mean? But then the match actually started with some actual wrestling, and everyone was like, oh, no, this is pretty good. And then the fun began when Angel left the ring and took Falcon with him. This cough is really pissing me off. And boy, did they have a fucking tour of the Horseshoe. You sat there thinking, where the hell are they going? And then all of a sudden, Angel sends Falcon flying over this fucking barrier with an 8-foot drop with a hip toss onto a limousine. Oh my god, what the fuck? This is 2017, man. What? Oh my god, Falcon's gonna die. Oh, Jesus Christ. But the spots in this match were absolutely insane. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Angel said exactly what he was going to do. He never lied. He never mixed his words. He never said, oh, I'm gonna wrestle you. This is gonna be the greatest wrestling match. He came out and said, I'm gonna end you. That is exactly what I'm here to do. And he did. There was Heaven's Fury through a stack of pallets. They ended up in the gorilla position. Falcon hit Angel with an aerial spike through the table at Gorilla. And then they went through the stage, out onto the stage. They got all the way around and back through Gorilla out onto the stage. Like you can see where I'm trying to tell. And the stage had these awesome Roman pillars to kind of signify, Night of Immortals. The thing that we always have pillars at Night of Immortals. And they climbed up, and this thing is like 40 feet high, and we talk about how brutal Angel is. Falcon was trying to aerial spike Angel off of this thing, but Angel blocked it and hit him with a genocide kick off the column. Falcon fell 40 fucking feet into a stack of tables. Angel just ended Falcon. That's it. He's for sure. Falcon is done. We thought Falcon was done when Spike powerbombed him off a balcony. That's nothing compared to what just happened. Nothing. Fucking Angel just damn straight murdered a dude. Bye Falcon. So long, and thanks for all the fish. We came to the Shield Maiden, which started with an awesome entrance from Eternity, really kind of hyping up the fact that she herself is a spectacle, that she's living up to her whole dragon thing that dragon gimmick that she's kind of been building ever since she entered the Dragon's Den at Metamorphosis. The two went at it straight away. Shay crashed and burned quite early on, trying to use her aerial agility, and it didn't really work to her benefit, which gave Eternity control. You don't want to give a dominant champion, someone who's pretty much crushed her opposition for fucking months, and the control that she had there. They ended up on the outside for no apparent reason. They just kind of punched each other, and then it was like, oh, we're going to get carried out. Let's get back in the ring. Shay managed to get the control. She hit the St. Patrick's Day parade, but Eternity kicked out. Eternity hit the Y incision, but Shay kicks out, which Eternity was like, what? So Eternity got kind of like pissed. She was angry, like almost insulted, like, how dare you? I'm going to break your fucking arm. So Eternity tries to break Shay's arm again, but this kind of flipped the switch in Shay. She's like, no, I don't fucking think so. Boom, sweet little machine, and Shay beat Eternity. Eternity's legendary Shield Maiden reign is over. What the fuck? That just happened, right? Right? That happened. Yeah, that happened. There's no one here, but it happened. Did it happen, Dave? Dave said it happened, so it happened. Shay just ended the most defended championships, the champion's reign at Night of the Immortals. Vengeance for Archie. Well done, Shay. And congratulations still has to go out to Eternity for being one hell of a champion. The thing that you have to think now is she's earned her right for a Diamonds Championship shot. How long is it going to be before she decides to cash it in? Will she want a rematch against Shay? Will she even care about that? Who knows what goes on in the mind of Eternity? I for hell don't even want to attempt that. I've seen what happened to Warren Kane. I ain't getting into that. Speaking of Warren Kane, holy shit! What the fuck was that? Some demon thing paint? What? That was creepy as fuck. Awesome, but creepy as fuck. And then Spike comes out on a... Speaking of asshole, you know... Comes rolling down with his fucking Superman cape. Asshole. And then... what has to be one of the moments of the night. Omen by Prodigy hits, and the crowd lost their fucking shit. Devlin Rain won the Joker in the Pack earlier in the night and then cashed it in. So Spike Kane has to technically face 2 Joker in the Pack winners in one match. Ha! That's karma, you motherfucker. Karma. coming to bite you in the ass. The crowd lost their shit. It was so amazing. Spike obviously wasn't happy. Warren was surprisingly happy, which was interesting. The match started. Devlin and Warren teamed up at the beginning. It was obviously going to happen. Spike is the bigger threat. Let's try and take him out. Devlin accidentally hit Warren with the no fate as Spike moved out of the way. Spike went for his Burning Star on Devlin, but missed, much like how Devlin went for the Cannonball at High Stakes and missed, but this time Spike landed on his feet, and Devlin hit him with the Orange Crush Bomb, which was for Nighthawk. But he didn't have much chance to capitalise as Warren was back on his feet and a little bit pissed off that he'd been hit with a no fate, hits Devlin with the Surgat DDT, and then goes to get some toys out from underneath the ring. Ooh. While he's doing that, Spike and Devlin get back to their feet and they look at each other, and in an absolute surreal moment they decide to do something together, and they dive out of the ring into Warren, into the cage cell wall, and in that moment the crowd are like, oh my god, this is so awesome. They just dove out of the ring together. Spike, Kane and Devlin Rain, two people you never would have thought do anything together, just went wah! And immediately Spike tries to powerbomb Devlin Rain, but Devlin reverses it into his new move, this subspace slide. Oh my god, what a fucking awesome move. Devlin gets back into the ring, Warren gets back into the ring, they exchange finishes and trademarks. Devlin hits him with the Dev DT with such impact that Warren bounces to his feet and hits Devlin with the Crysaw. And then as he gets to his feet with the chair, Spike back in and hits him with the bloody Sunday to the face. It's just like, ah! Spike is up and he's trying to get the ref to count them out, but they're both getting up. So he goes out the ring, gets the table, pushes the table into the ring. Before he can get up, Devlin hits him with the subspace highway, which knocks him down outside the ring. Warren then fucking double teams him with the fall from grace, which is the coup de grace. And then the two of them collude together. Warren says something, we don't know what. It wasn't picked up on the mics. Warren says something to Devlin. Devlin climbs the turnbuckle. Warren puts Spike on the table. Devlin hits the cannonball off the turnbuckle into Spike. This isn't high stakes. It's going to hit him because Warren holds him on the table. And then Warren puts Devlin in the turnbuckle so he's standing up. And then sits down. The ref counts. And your new Man of Steel champion is Devlin Rain. What? Nobody saw that coming when Night of Immortals died. I can guarantee it. No one saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming. You with the chips didn't see that coming. And you with the beard didn't see that coming either. Don't fucking lie to me because you didn't. I know you didn't. Absolutely brilliant match. Absolutely wonderful tribute to Nighthawk from Devlin, and a lovely bit of justice as well. Spike Kane got exactly what was coming to him. His legendary reign is over. Diamond Championship! Pandora Freeman versus the defending champion Paige Garcia. Now, this match we actually got to see a lot more of who Paige actually is. A ring veteran quite early on. She kind of dominated the match. She showed that she's a technical wrestler, that she can do things properly. She locked the Scorpion crosslock on, but Pandora managed to get to the rope. She obviously wasn't too happy with that. She gave the ref some shit. But then she proceeded to work on the arm and weakening it, doing it like single arm DDTs, that kind of thing, just really kind of focusing on the arm, which is good technical work. And it's like, if I'm going to beat you with my submission move, I'm going to weaken your arm. If you get out of it, I'm going to weaken your arm some more, so next time you ain't getting out of it. And then obviously Pandora explodes from life. She starts fighting back into it, and just as she starts to get some momentum, there's just that viciousness from Paige. She just poof, takes her out, and it's just like, oh, okay. Now you're starting to see how much this championship really means to Paige Garcia. And then there's they get up on the outside, and Pandora just about beats the 10 count. Like it's like 9.9, but she just gets in. But she ends up in the Scorpion Crosslock again. But Pandora manages to hook the leg and turn it into a pinfall, and is just about to win. She's just about to get the free, but Sarah lifts Paige's leg up onto the ropes when the referee sees it. And I don't mean he sees the leg. Obviously he sees the leg. He sees Sarah do it, so he ejects Sarah from ringside, and the crowd are happy. They're loving it. Pandora's happy. She's even smiling. She's like, yeah, got you, bitch. And what she doesn't realise is Paige is happy as well, because Pandora is distracted, and she hits the All About Me from behind. Boom, man. The crowd are booing like mad. Everyone's like, oh, god damn it, Pan, you had it. You almost had it. And then she kicks out. Everyone's like, what? No way. I've gone really fucking white all of a sudden. Why am I so white? Fuck you, Nighthawk, for picking on me for being white. You prick. Pandora kicks out. She manages to take advantage of the fact that Paige is so shocked that she kicked out. She hits another beat drop, and then the Red Sun, and boom, we have a new Diamonds champion. No way is she repeating what happened to last year's Iron Maiden. Pandora Freeman is your new Diamonds champion. Well done, well done, well done. And that brings us to the main event of the night. The reigning defending champion Cable Arcane against the roulette winner Andrew Jacobson. Obviously there's been quite a lot on the line. Andrew is a very good friend of Nighthawk's. What happened to Nighthawk must have been weighing pretty heavy on his mind. The crowd were very, very much behind Andrew, very vocal. They weren't not behind Cable, they were just not as vocal. They were very respectful. They clapped a lot. They were more like, we respect what you've done and how you fought as a champion. We know that you are a fighting champion, and it's basically the same kind of things that we would say. Cable isn't a coward by any stretch of the imagination. He never backs down from a fight. He's always willing to fight. I mean, if anyone, even on Twitter this week, he challenged Spike Kane to put his money where his mouth was. It's those kind of things. That's not, Cable's never backed down from a fight ever. But he's not what you would call a nice guy. He's not the hero that the crowd want, whereas Andrew is that guy. And the match started with absolutely outstanding wrestling, whereas a lot of this match has had a lot of brutal spots, you would say, weapons, cages, backstage brawls. This was pure wrestling. This was what wrestling is all about. The two of them knowing how the moves flow into the next move, how holds go into the next hold, how to weaken your opponent. And it was quite a surprise to see Cable being out-wrestled on the mat. And that's no disrespect to Andrew, of course, but you know, everyone's pointed out over the last couple of weeks how Andrew has always been that guy who almost made it. He almost got there. He almost became that guy. So he kind of gets into your head. It's like, well, he can't be that good then. Maybe he's like just kind of good. He's like, yeah. And whereas Cable's two-time champ, so he's got to be the best. So when you watch Andrew out wrestling him, you're like, oh, okay. Okay. So he's out mat wrestling him. Not that Cable was a slouch by any stretch, but then Cable started doing some kicks, especially to Andrew's legs. It almost had like an MMA feel to the match. And you get into your head as well, like, yeah, right, because he can't do the sharpshooter if he's got no like support in his legs. That's really clever, and it shows Cable adapting to the match as he goes on. Really smart, really smart wrestling by Cable. But then obviously Cable adapts once again and realizes that when it comes to striking, Andrew just cannot stand up with him. So he takes the advantage and he's beating the absolute shit out of him. The match then just kind of went. There was so much action. It was so fast paced. It was such a brilliant match. It really was a main event level match. But then the ending came and no one saw this coming. Andrew Jacobson wins with the Orange Crush Bomb. What a way to tribute your friend. Like this is such an awesome feel good moment. Yes, for someone like Cable, it does suck that your championship reign is just ended. But wow, what a moment for the crowd! What a moment for everyone at the Wrestle Factory! What a moment for everyone who's trained there! For everyone associated with Nighthawk. That was such an amazing moment, and it will go down in history as the last thing that happened on Night of Immortals 4. What a show. Almost every championship changed hands. The only championship that didn't change hands was the Invictus Championship, and that's because that match ended in a draw, a time limit draw. What a show. Where do we go from here? It's absolutely insane. We've got some things coming up next week at Sacrifice. We've got the Heir to the Throne announcement. We've got the Hall of Fame Class of 2017 announcements. We've got some new champion celebrations. It's a new year. It's a new year as far as IWF is concerned. Night of Immortals is an end, but it's also a beginning. And what a fucking beginning it was. We have a new Man of Steel, a new Shield Maiden, a new Diamonds Champion, and a new Imperial Champion. What a show. Thank you, IWF. Thank you everyone involved, because that was amazing. I've been Tyler Jacobs. I'll see you next time.